back to the SCPL. I'm Kix, and joining me just below once again is Rapid at 5 AM in Korea. So
yeah, it is a very late night, but of course never too late for more Brood War. I have spent many a night up playing this late, maybe not quite so recently, because usually I am up casting here with you, Kix. So yeah, wherever you are in the world or the multiverse or whatever you're in, thanks for watching this. Eventually, these signals will be beamed into outer space as the first way that non-Earth life experiences our civilization, and I think what better way to introduce them to Earth than watching Terrans kill aliens, or vice versa. Maybe we're giving them bad ideas. So when the human race is overrun by beings from another galaxy, it's because Ho just won that game and showed them how to kill all the humans.
yeah, it's either that or like they'll abduct Bisu and turn him into the like tactician master or whatever. But we just saw that really cool game between Ho and Dandy. Obviously didn't work out for Dandy in the end, which does tie up the series 1-1. And it's going to be up to our next two players here to see how we're going to go in the rest of the series. So let's have a look who they are. For SouL Gaming, we have one of their newer additions. It's going to be Spire. Now Spire, a bit of a breakout player, did turn up for one of the Havatis a couple of months ago. And I mean, he's just stuck around since. He's been doing a really good job in all the Havatis he's been in. To be honest, I think most of SouL's Korean contingent come from Havati. They have Scan, Shiny, Spire, Noob, Miso as well, so they're just poaching the Havati winners.
Oh yeah, he's actually, well, if you put it that way, yeah. But no, Spire is actually fantastic. I see him up in the top 50 on the ladder all the time. This guy is just a monster. In fact, when you look at both SouL and White, they have almost every single up-and-coming player in Korean Brood War right now. It's very, very high-level clans, and of course lots of great practice along with that. So yeah, this is Spire versus Mook. Now, I don't know anything about Mook.
Yeah,
I was wondering if this was there is, I forget which player it is that's Mook. I think it's, is it Mong? I forget, but yeah, Imjin Mook. So I was wondering if it was him, but I don't believe it is, so I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, Mook is one of the, I believe, older players in White Clan. He doesn't play as much in SCPL, but I know he's been a pretty strong piece in the Korean Clan League sort of moment, so should be cool to see how he does here against Spire. Of course, we have a little bit more info about Spire, but they are going to be moving on to Neo Aztec. Now, Neo Aztec, actually a really cool 3-player map. You may have seen it a lot more recently in the ladder and everything in KSL as well. It does originate from the 2011 Gyeongnam SCX Masters Cup. We're currently tied 4-4 in CVP on this map, so it should be a fairly fun game.
Yeah, Imjin Mook's piano, but this is not the Mook that we're seeing right here. And you're right, absolutely, Kix. This should be a very close game. I don't know, like I said, exactly what to expect, but I am always excited to watch more excellent games on Aztec. I love Aztec. 3-player maps in general are just fantastic in my opinion. So
yeah,
I want to see more of them, and thankfully we did make it here, so we are going to see at least Aztec one time today.
Yep, now we're going to move on to our third game. It's SouL versus White, Spire versus Mook, Game 3. Let's go. And down here in the bottom left-hand side of your screen, we do have fighting for White in the orange. It's Mook.
That's right, and his opponent in the 12 o'clock location as the purple Zerg player. This is Spire, or SouL Z Spire. It's the clan tag in the parentheses, the race letter in the middle, and then the player name. So I actually like calling him Spire because that's how I kind of got it ingrained in my brain. And is just probably the most successful clan in Korea ever. Basically, every good player comes from Bai. It's a vast overstatement on my part. but just so many good players come there. Like Rain, Flash,
Fantasy.
Fantasy, of course. How could I forget? Very, very strong clan. I mean, Endai had a few good players for a while, but then that kind of did die out. C was a very strong clan for a while too. Trying to think about all the old Korean clans. I don't remember too many of them.
I mean,
ARNC was a good clan for a while.
Yeah, and the other one, I mean, people do remember it does exist, but White. I mean, White was active back then. They've been around for a very long time. Well, they do have players like Shuttle, Mind, Best, Saxry. Obviously, Saxry didn't do too much in Brood War. He was like one of the SKT B-teamers, kind of. I think he maybe appeared a few times in Pro League, but didn't really do too well. But then he went on to do good things in StarCraft 2, so...
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see players that go on to have StarCraft 2 performances that are more successful than their StarCraft 1 and then make their return. I was actually casting Saxry's ASL games and really tried to highlight what his experience looked like. Up until the beginning of 2016, he was still playing StarCraft 2 competitively online. He played in a GSL at the beginning of that year. And then he switched back to Brood War like a lot of other StarCraft 2 pro gamers did. So I'm excited to see how he and a bunch of other StarCraft 2 pro gamers do. Is now they are switching back. It's going to be an exciting time. So I really do want to see how they perform. So not really that Spire and Mook are in those positions. Neither one of these had StarCraft 2 careers at all.
Yeah.
They just kind of stuck to StarCraft 1 the whole time, and that's why they are definitely among the best players in Korea.
Yeah, and we do have Mook going for that gateway first. The very modern style does keep the Zerg honest, forces a couple of Zerglings early on. We didn't see Mook be able to block the hatchery for too long against Spire. So, I mean, Spire's going to move out his third drone. This could be just a scout. I don't think I've seen an... Oh, there we go. He does have an Overlord over the gateway, but he is going to move back and take that third base.
SouL and the probe coming forward, and so they will make their way into the main. This is danger zone because it is just the one zealot for now. Second one, of course, coming up. It's not like this is anything hyper aggressive. It's just the forward gate pressure that Spire should be able to deal with pretty effectively. Now, once the second zealot comes, that's when things can kind of get a little bit crazy, especially if you take a bunch of damage. So one of these zealots is heavily damaged, but you don't want to overextend with your lings, especially if the zealots can put themselves in a nook or a cranny somewhere and really trade effectively. But Spire did go for quite a few lings there. I think he built 10, if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah. He didn't actually lose a single Zergling throughout all of that, I think, as well. So looks like Mook is using his buttery, slippery zealots to sort of pull his way back, but there we go. We actually have a nice surround on this first zealot.
Yeah, so that really heavily damages it. I mean, there's still enough to block this ramp over here, but he will lose one of those zealots, and that'll make the remaining zealot, of course, much more vulnerable.
Oh, and it looks like the cannon not finished yet, so Spire has a chance to jump in, but it looks like the cannon's going to finish in time. Oh, but this is going to go down very quickly.
Wait, he ran the zealot away. What? Okay. I think he was trying to block maybe the ramp, but he loses the cannon. Losing your early cannon, I mean, that is just, you're begging your opponent to hold down the Z key.
Yeah.
Like, that is a very, very big danger zone for him. And he's not rebuilding it, too, which is also a little bit scary. Now, obviously, it's because, your economy is not just going to allow you to make a bunch of cannons just arbitrarily. You still have to get the resources for it. But we should see him throw it down any second now. And yeah, there it goes, recannoning up at the front, just to make sure that he doesn't die to like a Ling Flood. But I mean, there's always the potential for a Hydra follow-up, and so that's why he has these two zealots out on the map to try desperately to scout and see what is going on.
Not only that, but it does allow him to take the position on this bottom ramp, making it a little bit harder for Spire to move all of those Zerglings across the map. Does slow down this just enough that his cannon should finish, but Mook is in a very, very good position.
He absolutely is. I don't know
Spire
exactly
even.
what. Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say Mook's actually not in a terrible position. He's going to have his cannon up in plenty of time. The Zerglings realistically shouldn't be able to run by. There's
that's
plenty
a
of
nice
probes here.
yeah.
It's a little bit of lost mining time, but realistically, he's rock solid at the front, and that's really all you can ask for as Protoss in the early game.
Yeah, not only that, we have Mook with his... You can't even see where the Zealots are. They're hiding behind the gas right now. And it makes it very difficult to oust those. Look how many lings that Spire is having to use to break through here.
Wow. That just took a lot to clean up. So all the lings are back at home. They're not busy busting the front. He should maybe think about throwing down a second cannon right now because he has no idea what to expect. And he did see that there were extra lings out on the map. Realistically, he needs a second cannon. That's a little bit late. Kicks.
Yeah, this could be a little bit dangerous actually, as we do have Mook with very few Zealots as well. I mean, he's trying to block his wall. It is a nice type wall, I believe, now with these Zealots, but this is a lot of lings.
Yeah, he's going to see that there is only one cannon, so trying to pick off that Zealot up at the front. Can he take it down? Yeah. Oh my god, wow. He doesn't get it. Wow, that's
that was
a
good
big committal.
Yeah, that was a lot of lost Zerglings. The Zealot does survive. He does need to try, if he can, to swap them around, but it's so difficult to do that when you know you've got speedlings just outside of your base. But we've got a Spire coming in homage to his name. Now, he doesn't have a second gas, so this isn't going to be muteless or anything like that, and he is going into those Hydra upgrades. But he is looking to take this into a little bit of a later game.
I mean, we'll have to see, really. It's all about whether or not he just holds down the Hydra key and just goes for it. But like you said, I don't believe that is going to be his effort. Now, a Protoss that has been able to stabilize and probe up on two bases is still super scary. I think he might actually be a little bit oversaturated on workers. So you got to know that Mook is thinking, hey, I'm going to bust out and need to get a base here pretty soon. But that is just very dangerous because he has no idea what is coming his way.
Yeah, I mean, he does have the Corsairs, which is very, very important. He did get a good scout off with the first one, so does have a good idea. He's going to see this fourth hatchery coming up at the third base, the fifth hatchery coming up at the natural now as well, and he should be able to take down a couple of Overlords.
Yeah, he's going to kill maybe one or two Overlords, but this is more importantly the scout. Oh, he's not going to commit to it. Wow, he doesn't want to get locked onto by Scourge or anything.
Yeah.
Even though there's it's all about how good your control is. If you have faith in your ability to save your Corsairs, then yeah, you can go a little deep with them. But I guess Mook just wants to play it safe.
Yeah, there is 4 Scourge chasing those down. Now, there isn't a cannon in the main just yet, so he's going to have to fly to his natural if he wants to avoid it. And wow, it looks like we've dropped Rapid. That's interesting. Are you still here? Okay, well, this is interesting. So, Rapid seems to have disconnected from the call. So you'll have to forgive me for the short interlude of things. It looks like RapidBot has rebooted again. So I guess we'll need to wait for him to come back. But hopefully he'll just get dumped straight back in the game. If not, we'll rehost the replay. We are at 8 minutes 18, just so that's written down. Let's go back to the camera. Obviously, you're not going to see Rapid there, so I'll just hide him for a second. But, as Tasteless used to say, technology is the vehicle of esports, so we do see an example of that now, with Rapid disconnecting. So, hopefully you're all enjoying the show so far. If you do like the SCPL is back. Let's try and point the right way. It's every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Same time, obviously the same place. You can check it out on YouTube at youtube.com/KicksSC. I'm hoping to change that when we go into, or when I get 100 subscribers, I'll put it to SCPL TV or something. It's a little bit easier to find, but as you can see in the chat as well, there is a Matrino link. I don't believe there's any codes at the moment, but I will be getting some more for round 3. And it looks like Rapid is completely disconnected now, so what we'll do is if we go back to the game, when he gets back, he can rejoin and everything, if he does come back. Obviously, if his internet's gone down and that's it, then there's not really much we can do about it. But here we go. Let's head back into the game. I'll drop Rapid for now. We see Mook with the Corsairs. Does manage to pull back. Will get a cannon in his main. He doesn't want to get caught off guard by Scourge. A very, very important moment in the game for Spire, if he can quite do that. Now, we are going to see Storm as well coming in. Very standard PvZ at the moment. Now, one thing I will say about Aztec is we have seen a lot of standard games on here. Now, of course, it is a ladder map, which means a lot more people can play it a lot more freely. And even then, it's one of the most played 3-player maps, I would say. Even back on IC Cup, if Neo Aztec was in the map of the week pool or whatever, you'd see a lot of games. Now, we're going to see Mook move across here with some Zealots. Now, this is to not only force more units out of Spire and less drones, it also puts a lot of pressure on. He's going to force a Sunken up here. He's going to try and do some damage. Of course, these Scourge will keep an eye on this. But he just wants to try and chip away at anything he possibly can. And just try and delay Spire from really growing too much. Now, it looks like Mook is going to try and take his own third base. This is going to be mineral only.
Hey, Kix, what's up?
Welcome back. Okay.
Yeah, that's what happens when you kick your modem cord.
Oh.
That's just a bad one. Hey, if you want to pause, I did have to drop you from my replay, but I can get up to the same time that you are in yours. Otherwise, I can just kind of let you finish things off.
I'm rehosting, so let's rehost the game, and I saw what time we're on.
You're so nice, Kix. Thank you so much for compensating for my terrible judgment.
You need to pick your thing up from the floor, man.
Well, so no, it's not even on the floor, right? It's kind of like suspended, and so I was just like, you know, sitting in my chair, and I just moved my foot one hex too far, you know. Okay. Wow. Okay, I am joining your rehosted game here.
Now, one thing I did say when you were like tasteless, as he always said, vehicle is the technology of esports, and sometimes people get behind that technology drunk. Now, it's not a good thing. But sometimes people kick their modem cables, so a little bit unfortunate.
Oh wow, now I have to re-authenticate. This is just like a tragedy.
It could be worse. It could be a power cut in the finals of like an MSL game or something. At least we're casting from replays, so there's no major effect on the players or anything like that. So it's just waiting for that to come back up, and obviously for you to come back in.
Okay, I believe I should be joining right about now.
It'll be interesting to see if you have to re-download the replay again. I don't think you should have to, but you can never be too sure.
Let's find out, Kix. We're treading virgin territory here. No, it looks like I'm good to go. Sick.
Awesome. Our pioneer.
I love my.
This is all just a test. Like, this wasn't even an accident. This was all planned.
A trial run. All right.
Yeah.
We're actually just gonna start at the beginning of the replay again, guys. Hope it's not. That would be a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go. We can speed up.
Now, I think this is just about when you disconnected. So we're back in the game, and as I say that, I need to actually switch to the game. Otherwise, people aren't going to see anything. I just need to quickly do the micro to take us up to extra high latency. Obviously, worldwide connections makes it a little bit difficult, but that's why it's so important to cast from replays as well, because obviously we do have 2 Koreans in this game, but if I was casting this with you, there would be a little bit of lag, so kind of important to be where we are here on replays.
I'm just happy that we can actually like get back to where we were in the game. Like there were archaic times when using replays was actually just the most terrible experience you could ever imagine. But now things are actually much better, and we can get back to where we were.
Yeah, now this is obviously a little bit further back than where the game ended, but not much happened here. So we saw Mook try and push in and do a little damage. I think you're actually disconnected by this point, I can't remember. But
yes,
we didn't really miss too much from here. Mook does manage to do a little bit of damage to the hatchery, doesn't lose anything, and does decide to pull back. And this is where we quit. So we're caught up.
When we last left our heroes, yeah, we were running our zealots back across the map. So yeah, just desperately trying to get this third base up and running. Hasn't actually thrown down the Nexus just yet, but this is very, very tenuous. Sometimes you run your +1 speed lots in and you snipe a hatchery and it's like, wow, that's a big blow to the Zerg. But other times you don't get any damage done, have to run back and
Oh,
try to
the
hold on
Zealots.
to your third. But yeah, he's not moving. The Zealots are on hold position, and that means that the Zerglings can cancel everything except for the Nexus.
Yeah, luckily enough they didn't cancel the Nexus. Mook did realize before it was too late, but that is 2 cannons that are not on the way now. Mook actually runs past the Hydras of Spire here, and Spire with a Lurker as well could do a lot of damage to this base with only 1 cannon at it even.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, oh, can he kill the Lurker in time? No, the Lurker burrows and there's no detection.
Yeah, and it looks like we've even got an Overlord here to help try and snipe any observers, but there's a lot of Zealots. They do have +1 attack, I believe. Yep, yes they do. +2 on the way. Not any Hydros upgrades just yet, so the Zealots gonna do pretty well, but the third has been forced to cancel.
And realistically, that's like all the advantage you need, right?
Yeah.
As long as you can keep the Protoss stuck on 2 bases, not able to get that third base up. I mean, these Hydras are just going to be super, super effective. Storm is done, I believe, but
Storm
he's
must
not
be.
really willing to
There
go
we
for it. Yeah, and that's the reason.
And that was a very nice Storm dodge. You can really see that turn rate 24 was the way the game was played, because that was an insanely fast reaction from Spire.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you never want to be forced to commit at that point, but here we go. +1 speed lot's actually running in. They're going to get right on top of the Hydralisks, and they're actually going to kind of finish the job that they started earlier, taking down at least one of these hatcheries.
Yeah, and that hatchery is a big, big deal. It's a lot of macro potential. The first hatchery goes down, and look at that. He gets a drone for his troubles as well. And he is going to pull back without losing that many Zealots. I don't even think he lost one. And he's actually going to cancel the 4th base as well.
Wow, so this is really cool. A lot of damage being done on the other side. I mean, there's still Lurkers sieging at the natural expansion and still no third base for Protoss. But hey, at least Mook is out there on the map doing damage.
Yeah, and this forces Spire's attention away from his Lurkers as well. You can't be as efficient with your units. Obviously, Mook throwing away a lot of Zealots here. This is only minerals, but he doesn't have that big of an army, and he's actually got a lot of his Dragoons stuck out. He can't really afford to kill the pylon either, because that'll underpower the cannons. And it looks like this is the moment. Mook is going to try and move out to the middle of the map. He's going to try and get something done with his Storm. He's got a lot of Templar. That's 5 Templar worth of 2 Storms as well. So is Spire going to be able to hold on to this?
Yeah, I mean, Storm can change any game's outcome, that's for sure. I've seen crazy good Storms just kill Infinity Hydras, and all of a sudden the Zerg player just actually has nothing. So, definitely some things to watch out for. As I mean, really all the Protoss player wants. Mook just wants a third base, right?
Yeah.
He's just trying to get that up and running because his main is drying up. He's got way over saturation there, so he desperately needs a place to put those probes. All they need is a home kicks.
And that was very, very lucky that Mook actually spotted that. Spire being incredibly sneaky, hiding a Lurker egg in the very top left of that base. Does manage to take down the Lurker before it causes too many trouble. But if he'd have made that a whole Lurker and all of a sudden all of the probes transfer to this patch, that's a lot of dead probes in one go.
Oh yeah, I mean, let's just not even think about that.
That's
That is not
nightmare
safe
fuel.
for Protoss. Yeah, it absolutely is. So now we're starting to move out onto the map for the Protoss. This is to put on pressure in hopes that the Nexus can get up behind us, right? And he's actually doing a pretty good job, but the Mutas are actually coming in, sniping quite a few High Templar, but those Storms do land pretty successfully. One more would absolutely devastate that Muta ball, but it does kind of make the tour de force, and now has to run away from the Corsairs, who are actually going to run in on top of the Hydras. No, that's not where you want to be.
Oh, this could be another Storm though. He needs to be careful not to lose them. A nice Storm going down on top of those Mutas. The Corsair, only one does remain. But this pushback by Spire with that Mutalist switch is going to force Mook back towards his own base, and this is going to secure, at least for the time being, this 4th base.
Yeah, so 4th base is up, and now drones are being produced there. Macro coming back online for Spire. But the Mutas are actually all going to die here, so that is definitely not going according to plan.
Yeah, he did take out a good number of these High Templar, but there's still 2 left. And there's not that many units on the ground for Spire. He's been trying to drone up to get drones over his force. But he's pretty much just on pure Hydralisk at this point. And Storm loves eating Hydralisk for breakfast.
Yeah, they certainly do. That's what it's like Tiggers. That's what Storms do best. Kill Hydras. Oh my God! Look at these Storms. Oh ho ho. Yeah. So realistically, this Hydra force down on the bottom. I think he wishes he had maybe one more, and there it is. So all these Hydras will die just post-haste, and while there are a few Zerglings and Lurkers being re-macroed, they're funneling in one by one, which is never what you want to see.
Yeah, and I mean, this is such a good engagement for Mook. He takes out one half of the army, then takes out the other. This could not have gone any better, and I think this could be the end of it, and it is GG. Spire is taken down, and Mook is going to take the series to 2-1.
Yeah, wow, very well played there. I definitely felt like Mook was under a lot of pressure, especially when his third base got canceled. But he manages to not only secure that, but just hang on barely long enough to get the forces that he needs. He doesn't lose all of his High Templar to the Muta switch. The Mutas actually, I thought were going to be super terrifying, but he winds up kind of handling that crisis management really, really well. So very impressed. I did not know what to expect because I hadn't seen Mook before, but hey, he wins the game and puts his team in a good spot.
Now, this is the moment where I have to announce something incredibly sad, especially after those 3 epic games. SouL didn't have a replacement for Noob. Noob didn't turn up for his game for whatever reason. Obviously, I don't know the personal reason behind that. But that does mean White did take the walkover just because they couldn't play against anyone, basically. So, unfortunately, that is going to end with a walkover, which is a bit shit, but it's one of those things. It's a worldwide tournament. Obviously, there's a lot of people playing at really awkward times and things like that. So that is going to take us over to have a look at the results, and that's going to end us for today. But obviously, apologies, but let's take a look at how the series played out.
What are we spelling in chat right now? I'm so confused. Everybody's best friend is named Martin. There we go. Anyway, yeah, let's check out the results here. Yeah, it is a little bit of an anticlimactic way to end it, but hopefully we'll be able to, have everybody show up for the finals. Obviously, it's a big deal, and I think that in the end, it would have been nice to watch Noob face off against Famasi, but it's hard to vote against Famasi.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is just a god. I cannot state that so much. So it is unfortunate we don't get to see him play today, but maybe we're gonna have to have an exercise in delayed gratification and wait to see him, and if he does play in the finals.
Yeah, and I mean, if we were going to look at this from a logical standpoint, Famasi is probably the most likely player to show up in the finals. But either way, that is going to bring an end to semi-final B, with White Clan taking a 3-1 victory over SouL. Dandy had a strong position against SouL. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. Obviously, Scan having an insane TVT with #1 Flash. And then Mook just taking a little bit of a technical victory there at the end against Spire with some great usage of his units.
Yeah, very well played there in the end by Mook, who I guess somewhat gives his team the win. If he had lost, then maybe we get the chance to go to the ace match, but we don't. White is your White are rather your victors, or no, White is your victor, because a group of people under one name is referred to as a singular entity. There we go. Gotta remember my pluralization rules. Anyway, the idea is that White moves on, and that's super exciting for me, because not only does White have a very deep roster of very strong players, but I just cannot wait to see how they do in the finals. Obviously they know what it's like to make it here before. They are still super, super strong, and I want to see if they can do it again.
Yeah, obviously White did win round 1. They were against IRK in that final. It was actually a 7-0 victory, or 6-0 victory, sorry, for White in that instance. There were some really close games, but we have NetWars waiting for them in the final. And NetWars are a very, very strong team. They have some insanely good players. They've got Bonneth, True Touch, Radley, Koga, Yeti. Just so many names I can't even list them all. Obviously, it's going to be a great final. Now, if you do want to join us for the final, it's going to be next Friday, same time, same place, 2100 CEST on this very channel. So if you don't want to miss it, do hit follow. And do keep an eye on Twitter as well. The Team Liquid thread should be going up soon, but this should be a great final. And it's not the end for SouL and Red as well. They're going to be back next Sunday, or next Monday I think it's going to be, for the third place match. Now, if you're not sure how the SCPL works, the 4 top teams do get league qualifying points for the grand finals. At the end, the top 4 or 8 teams, I've not decided, depending on how many different teams make it, they're going to make it through to the grand finals. But top place wins 4, second place wins 3, third place wins 2, and fourth place wins 1. So we currently have White sat on 4 points. Can they make it 8? We're going to find that out in next week's final, so don't miss it. It's going to be great. And soon after that, we're going to be heading into round 3, where we say hello to 3 new teams with MSJ, Valhalla, and Brood War Life. And we could have another rebranding of 9th team, as they want to go back to being FBW. So we'll see how that goes. Thank you once again for joining me, Rapid.
Anytime, Kicks. The games we did see were exciting.
Yeah.
I wish we could have seen more, but I'm excited to watch White Clan face off against Net Wars in the finals, in that grand finals match. And if you can't get enough Brood War, there's plenty more coming your way. Tomorrow are the KSL finals, so
Yeah.
you do not want to miss that. It's Jadong versus Last in a best of 7 on a sick venue. I got a chance to drive by the venue the other day, and you don't want to miss it. So if you can come down to the venue in person in SouL, absolutely. Make it there. Come say hi. The venue sold out in under an hour, I was told. But it is very, very exciting time for Brood War in not only Korea, but also elsewhere in the world. So, big fan of the STPL. It's always a pleasure to come cast it. But because it is 6 a.m. out here in Korea, I am going to get a few hours of sleep and then head out to GSL and KSL finals. So thanks for having me, Kicks.
No problem. Have a very good night. And of course, to anyone watching, if you're in Europe, the finals are going to be at 9 a.m. for KSL. So do tune into those. I'm going to wake up at 8 a.m. to watch it. So have a good night, evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. And SCPL will be back next Friday. See you then. Ciao.